Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm Max. This is my affirmation video to my affirmation journal of a book I'm a comic called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I have everything written. I'm Max, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue on as my videos have all been the same. This is transforming suffering into peace. I read about all of these things in ancient Greece. You has told me the sun has died in an accident and replied it was not, that it was immortal. Is that surrender? If it is not, I don't want it. There is some situation in which surrender means immortal or immortality, or in which is inhuman and you're being cut off from your feelings, or which is not surrender. But if you don't know, then it is, he says his words, in which is extreme situations here that we see, and may be able to simply understand. And as always, you get a chance to surrender. Your first chance to surrender each moment is the reality of the moment, and knowing that it cannot be undone. Because it is already said, yes, we have to do this situation that requires a divine state of acceptance. You create no more negativity, no more suffering, no more unhappiness, then you live in a state of acceptance and not resist the state of sickness and grace and lightness and free of struggle. Whenever you aren't able to do that, whenever you miss a chance, either because it's not generating no conscious presence for it, so inhabitual conscious resistance pattern from arising, and so doing in conditions so extreme as to be absolutely unacceptable to you, and you're creating some sort of pain, then some suffering or some pain, or whatever you want to call it. It may be looking at the situation as creating from the suffering, and ultimately is resist second chance surrender. It cannot accept what it is outside, and you cannot accept the internal condition. This means you do not resist the pain, but allow it to be there. Surrender is the grief and despair, the loneliness, or whatever their form is, the form of suffering. And there is immediately it takes and witnesses without labeling and mentally embracing it. See the miracle of surrender transmutes deep suffering into deep peace. This is crucifixion, it becomes your resurrection and ascension, and you're not seeing the surrender and suffering as it has yourself pointed out in the surrender. Now forget about your surrender in the moment when your pain is deep on. It's all your surrender will probably seem futile, meaningless anyway. When your pain is deep, you will likely have a strong urge to escape from it. Rather than to surrender from it, you don't want to feel that you feel. You don't enter any more normal than you don't want to escape. You don't want a way out. There are many ways to escape: with food, drink, drugs, anger, projection, suppression, and so on, but you're not free from the pain. So there's an diminished intensity when you're making it unconscious, when you're in denial, emotion of the pain, everything you do, everything involves your relationships becomes contaminated with it. You broadcast it, so to speak, as the energy you emanate, others will pick a dose of it and relate in an unconscious way that they maybe feel compelled to attack or hurt you in some way, or may even hurt you in them, and there's some unconscious projection of your pain. You will attract to manifest whatever corresponds to your state when there is no way out. There is still always a way through. So don't turn away from the pain. Face it, feel it, fully feel it. Don't feel it, just think about it. Just don't think about it, just feel it. And express it is necessary. Don't create a script in your mind around it and give all your attention to the feeling of the person who in the situation has loved and caused it. And let your mind be pain and create a victim identity for yourself out of it. Feeling sorry for yourself and telling others a story will keep you stuck in suffering. Seeing it's impossible to get away from this feeling is only the possibility of change to move into it. Otherwise, nothing will shift. So give your complete attention to what you really feel and refrain from mentally labeling it. And there you go, and the feeling be intentionally alert. At first, it may seem like a dark and terrifying place, and when you urge to turn away from it, comes observant and nice to keep on putting your attention on the pain. Keep feeling the grief and the fear and the dread and loneliness, whatever it is. Stay alert, stay present within the whole being of every cell of your body. As you are bringing light into the darkness, those will be the flame of your consciousness and the stage, and you do not be concerned with surrender anymore. It has happened already. How? Full attention is complete full acceptance of surrender. By giving full attention, use the power of the now, which is the power of your presence. No hidden pocket resists surviving. In presence removes time. Without time, no suffering or negativity can survive. And you can't survive. You too couldn't survive. And acceptance of suffering is a journey into death, facing deep pain, allowing it to be taking your attention into the now as a death, unconsciously unconscious, and is died in its death, and you realize that there is no death, and that there is nothing to fear, and only the ego dies. And imagine a ray of sunlight that has forgotten its inseparable part of the sun, that loses itself in being and fighting for survival and creating, claiming an identity other than the sun. would be the death of this delusion incredibly liberating? Do you want an easy death? Would you rather die without pain or without agony? Deny to the past at every moment and let the light of your present shine away to the heavy time-bound self as you thought as you. I want to take it back. And that's Transforming Suffering into Peace by Eckhart Tolle in the book The Power of Now. I'm Max. This is my affirmation video. It's my affirmation journal. I've written everything. And thanks for listening. Until next time, I'm out.